Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Wow, 3 of Cups. Very nice. Very nice. That's a celebration. That is a celebration. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's put it into some context. Wow, the Sun card. I think we got the Sun card in your last reading from a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, this is something else. This is interesting. See, we've got these weird energies here with the 7 and the 9. We've got the 8 of, we got 7, 8, 9, right? The air and the water energy. We're going to talk about that. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And this is just one card that we select randomly. We're using the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we'll put the frog right on top. We're not going to look at that until the very end, all right? And hopefully that card will tie everything together and, of course, give us the confirmation that we need, right? Okay, so let's look at these energies now. Major Arcana, do we have any? Yeah, we've got that Sun card. It's the central one. This is the central card. Everything else is orbiting around this Sun. The Sun card, I think in your last reading, showed maybe we had a little bit of the shadow aspect of the Sun, right? A little bit of this kind of overweening pride, a little bit too much ambition, or a little bit of arrogance, perhaps. Now, I don't want to offend anybody. But I think we had a little bit too much sunlight. Right? It's just a little too hot out there. I think the temperature has been dialed back a little bit. I think the Sun card now is perfectly balanced, is in perfect harmony, well, between fire and water, and air and earth, right? We're perfectly balanced. Perfectly balanced. And it's interesting because the fire and the water conflict, right? As far as the elements go, they don't like each other. And then with the air and the earth, same thing. As far as the elements go in the Hermetic tradition, these elements do not get along. So they are strained, these are strained, there's this tension, there's this it's like the Sun. There's this nuclear fusion that happens inside that is pushing outward. But there's all of this pressure coming from the rest of the universe, from its own mass, trying to crush it, right? So there's this struggle, there's this strain for balance. But it's right there in the middle of all of that strain that there's balance. It's finding the stillness in the tumult. This is really fantastic. This is a really big win for you. I feel like there have been some struggles, there have been a lot of good energies for Leo, but I think it's been challenging energy. And now, I really feel like this could be the biggest win of your life. I feel like you are in perfect balance. You're in perfect balance here. We still have this 9 of Swords in the environment, okay? And this is going to be something interesting to talk about. I don't know if there's some kind of a conflict going on in your physical world, maybe at work, if there's something going on at home or with your friends. There's some sort of I don't know, I just feel some bad energy here between you and somebody. I don't know if it's this air sign person here. Maybe this Knight of Swords, it could be. But let's stay with this good news first, yeah? This 3 of Cups. This is the big win. This is the celebration. This is the big win that's behind the Sun. So it's the big win that is within you. Because you're proud of yourself. You've triumphed over yourself, over your own gravity, but also over the circumstances around you. Whatever the challenges are, I think you're going to overcome them beautifully. How do you overcome that? Well, by balancing all of your elemental energy, your air, your earth, your water, your fire. By becoming as balanced and as centered and as still inside as you can, then you can really become that radiant sun. You're tapping into this divine energy as well, the Three of Cups. Not just the champagne bottles, it's the divine energy. Your connection with Source. You're learning how to create blessings, how to give blessings, how to be a blessing, right? You're learning how to create this feeling of abundance within yourself, within the situation, between you and others in your interactions. And I think this is enough, really. This kind of water here, this is going to dissolve this metal, these swords here. This water is going to dissolve that like an acid eats into steel. It's gone. I think we're going to take care of that Nine of Swords real easy. And this is expressed through many different ways, And I think that's part of your work right now is to kind of figure out how you're expressing all of this joy, this excitement, this abundance, this wealth of feeling that you have inside, right? And we see that we're kind of strained here in the earth and the air aspects. We're still maybe learning how to communicate effectively. We're understanding, okay, this is the Seven of Pentacles, or Six of Pentacles, Seven of Swords up here. It's at the top of the path of the dove. So this is kind of what we're conscious of. You understand that putting a Three of Cups into words doesn't really work. People are just going to look at you crazy, right? There is no effective way to tell somebody how you feel or what you're feeling or what, you know what I mean? You look like a nut. We try though, right? We all try. I try here every day. I think I look like a nut. So we understand that it's kind of a futility to express what we have here. So this kind of almost spiritual experience that you're feeling, or that you will be feeling, when all of these elements are perfectly in this kind of divine tension, right? And there's this stillness in the middle. This kind of joy, this is going to be difficult for you to explain. Maybe you just send them over here and tell everyone to watch this tarot reading. But the Seven of Swords is also talking about how you're trying to refine your expression, right? You're trying to make some progress with your interpersonal relationships. And I think we're onto something there because of this Nine of Swords too. Maybe there's some friction in your life with people, I think it's just the way we communicate sometimes. It doesn't always vibe with everybody. So we're learning how we might better communicate our thoughts and feelings. Our spiritual experience as well, maybe we're not ready for that yet. Maybe they're not ready for that, but we're trying, right? But now let's look at what is kind of conflicting with this. What is the tension here? Well, we see the Six of Pentacles underneath. This is causing tension with your air. Your earth is kind of in conflict with the air. And the Six of Pentacles is this more beneath the surface, more unseen aspect of yourself, which is your desire to really be part of a pack, part of a group, right? You want to find your tribe. You're not just the solitary lion that's out there, living and hunting all by yourself. You're part of a larger collective, a community. I feel like people don't always understand you. But they're working on it, we're working on it, everyone's working on it. I think you really have the best interest of the collective, of the community at heart. People don't often know that about you, right? People maybe see you jumping out in front, doing the exciting thing, doing it with a lot of flair and pizzazz, but they don't understand that you are a deeply caring person and that you want everyone to succeed. And if there's anyone left behind, that would crush you. Everyone needs to succeed. You're the one that will go back and take 5 or 10 people on your back to carry them to the finish line. Yeah. This is beneath the surface. This is what people don't often see with you. Now, we've also got this fire and this water energy. I think with the fire, we had that last reading a couple days ago. Things were a little bit too impulsive, a little bit too fiery, maybe a little bit arrogant. Maybe we were just a little bit too sure of things. We were getting a little carried away with this excitement, with our ambition, with our fire. Well, we've got a little bit of this Eight of Cups, this loss of heart, right? We understand that tomorrow this big win could be taken away. We understand past and future, right? We understand outward and inward. We understand forward and backward. We're in this place of stillness. This is a very big win for you personally, internally. I think it's a big win for you in your environment, in your personal life or professional life or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish right now. This is a big wind. A big wind. This is the big wind. This is a big win for you in 2 dimensions, right? In 2 levels. So the Eight of Cups in the future. We know that tomorrow things are uncertain. Things are not guaranteed. Right? Let's stay in this moment. Let's stay. This is like being out on a boat on a beautiful day, on a lake, water like glass. Perfect. Right? Perfect. You can see all the way down to the bottom with this kind of water. We want to stay there. We know that tomorrow is not guaranteed. We know that tomorrow the weather may be a lot worse. Right? Let's enjoy the day now because we could get a storm tomorrow. I personally like storms. Not the metaphorical kind, though. Right? Not the 9 of Swords kind of storms. We don't want these. And I think because we've had these, and maybe we still kind of do, and that's something that we're working on. We're trying to use some of this spiritual attainment and enlightenment, some of this love energy, again, to dissolve these conflicts, whatever they may be, or wherever, whoever. So we're kind of balancing this is almost a recklessness or an arrogance here. And then this is kind of a expecting the worst to happen tomorrow kind of thing. Right? And so these two they temper each other. Well, I'm not going to be so reckless with what I have. I'm not going to be, I'm still going to take advantage of the day. I'm still going to, if tomorrow's not guaranteed, then I need to do everything I can today. Right? There's the cat to confirm, our little Leo representative. So I really feel like these energies, the fire and the water energies, are really keeping you centered, right? Understanding, don't want to go too far this way, don't want to go too far this way. They're just both kind of pulling in equal, with equal force, right? Everything's being strained with equal force, and you're just you're able to stay right there in the middle. And it's interesting with this stillness because it is the sun that is the gravity, the weight of you, your intensity is what is keeping these things in line, right? Basically keeping everything in orbit around you. If you were weakened in any way, all of these other energies would just fly away from you. They would just shoot off into space, right? They'd be flung to the furthest reaches, or they'd start orbiting something else. So it's very important that you maintain your balance and your stillness and your centeredness, right? Because it's not so much that these energies are so strained that they're keeping you centered, but it's that you are you are centered, right? And so you're keeping these other energies balanced and moving. And, if everything is kind of in motion, then nothing has a chance to really accumulate in any kind of bad spot, We're keeping everything well mixed up. We're separating them now for illustrative purposes, but in essence, these are all swirling around, mixing together, but you're at the point where you can see them all with this stillness. See, this picture's not moving. We can see a picture, a snapshot of what these are, so that we can make sure that there's no accumulation of fire energy. We get too much fire, we start kind of, getting a little too reckless or not being, humble enough or whatever it might be. And the same with a lot of these other energies. Now, let's move to the path of the serpent. We've got an 8 of discs, pentacles. The 8 of pentacles is your general energy right now. It's kind of how you're looking at things. And I think I really just kind of explained that. How we're seeing everything as a static picture, because this is an 8. It is static. It is a form. It is a structure. It's not moving. It's an even number, right? So we're seeing everything as like we hit the pause button. So we can look at everything, make sure nothing is too light, nothing's too heavy. Not too much, not too little of anything. But in essence, in truth, we haven't stopped time, right? We haven't stopped energy. We're just able to see it in such a way that we can assess it in that way. And that's the mystery, I think, of the 8 of Pentacles. It seems like it should be a stationary card, like it's just, you hit the stop button, check over everything, okay, then you hit the start. It's like we're stopping the machine so that we can do our maintenance on it, right? Change the oil, check the bearings, make sure there are no frayed wires, that sort of thing. Everything's good? Okay. Hit the start button, things start rolling again. I don't think life works that way. We should do that with our car, certainly, but I don't think nature works that way. So we may feel like we've stopped to look at things and check things, and we're just kind of going through our safety checklist, which feels a little tedious, and we may feel a little bit of this Knight of Wands starting to rear up and want to get moving. It's a little impatient. But we understand, we're tempering that, we're balancing that with these other elements. We know that doing the safety check is a huge part of the process. It doesn't mean that things are stuck and stopped. We haven't stopped the machine. This is a part of the machine's functioning. You have to do these kinds of safety checks, right? And I think this is the way we've learned to slow down a little bit in life. It's kind of like you're watching the grass grow, or you're watching your plants grow. You're doing the soil thing and watering and make sure they got light, and you're doing a little pruning here and there, saying some kind words to them, to your plants. We can't see them growing right there in that moment, so someone that maybe doesn't know any better would say, why are you putting water on your plant? It's not growing. I don't see it growing. You put water on it, it didn't do anything. Well, you know that processes can take time, right? Things move slowly. They're moving really at the speed of light. But from our perspective, right, our relative vantage point, can't really see it. Can't really see it. Put a time-lapse camera out there on your plants. You'll see them doing a whole lot of stuff. I keep telling my wife, she does tea leaf readings on YouTube. I keep telling her she needs to do like a time-lapse channel just with her plants that she grows. She has sunflowers out there, chamomile flowers that she's growing, and it's just, it seems like every time I go out there, the plants have grown and moved and shifted and turned, and I think it would be fascinating to do a time-lapse and just see the dance that they do during the day when no one's watching, or at night too. Anyway, I feel like that's kind of what's going on here a little bit. And I feel like this is all part of your big win, this big balance, this harmony that you're finding. And that's going to be how we overcome this 9 of Swords. I also think it's very cool that TT came to visit us today during the Leo reading. She's just over here purring. I could just sit here and listen to her purr for an hour, but I don't know if any of you would stick around if I did that. So anyway, we talked a little bit about the 9 of Swords. I think that is being resolved. I think, whatever this conflict is, whoever it's with, if it's generally with your interactions with the world, if it's a certain person or a group of people, if it's kind of a thing with the family or at work or some kind of discord or something, I think we're getting over that. I think we're doing everything that we can to dissolve this conflict. Now, of course, it's up to the universe, it's up to others to kind of match our efforts, match our vibe. We're putting our best effort into it. Okay, so I think this is going to be fine. The next card is this Knight of Swords, and I don't know if this is a particular person, if this is maybe the person that you have conflict with, if they're an air sign person. It could be. It could be. I feel like this is the card we don't want. It's in that position. It could be we don't want this conflict. We don't want to feel attacked. We don't want to feel confronted by that person, right? And maybe it is somebody that kind of, has a confrontational kind of attitude with us. And that's why we don't want that. That would make sense. This card to me is also kind of an indication of this getting carried away with the air energy, getting carried away with our communication, getting carried away with expressing ourselves. And we may find that we get too wrapped up in talking or trying to explain things, or we get a little bit overzealous with our communication generally. Okay, that it may actually be some of that Knight of Wands creeping into your interpersonal relationships. Honey, that hurts. You're scratching me. She wants to cuddle with me a little bit. So I kind of feel that this might be a little bit of that. Like, let's understand that we might, trying to figure out how to word this one, we might have a tendency to be a little bit too assertive with our ideas, right? So this is a card that may actually show that something's happening here, and I didn't really realize I was doing this. But I'm getting a little bit too forceful with my ideas. I'm getting a little bit too confident in my own beliefs, right? We may be stating things as facts when they are just opinions, or they are just, kind of freewheeling ideas, right? Brainstorming. It may be a little bit of aggressive debate, right? People might not really be open to that. This might be something that we do kind of without our knowledge. We may find that, one of these elements are a little bit out of whack. Again, it's probably with the air and the fire. And we may find that we're just a little bit too assertive with our expression or with our opinions, or, so that could be another way of tackling that card. It's just something to be aware of, because I think when it happens, we may not realize it. It's something we may have to reflect upon afterwards and see, that maybe we have done that a little bit. Okay. The very next card is that Princess of Pentacles. Now that is whatever we want it to be. Whatever project you're working on, whatever your ultimate goals are, If you're working on something specific, if it's a work thing, if it is a family thing, if it's personal relationships. Sorry about that. Whatever the cat just leaped off of my lap, scratched my leg up. She must have heard a cricket or something out there. So the Princess of Pentacles is really any kind of accomplishment. This is really the infinite potential for manifestation. Okay, so it really depends on what we're working on. If you're starting a business, this is a pretty good card to have. If it's something that you're kind of working on your health and wellness generally, this is a good card to have. If it's something with a family, you're trying to build a family, strengthen your family, provide for your family, this is a good card to have. Whatever it is that we're working on, this shows a really, really big win. And this, especially coupled with the Three of Cups, well, this is a really big reason to celebrate, right? I'm very excited for this and for what you're doing. I'm happy that we're getting this kind of balance of energies. I really do like this. Now we are going to do, mystery card. I almost forgot. I forgot in the Cancer reading yesterday. I think I just need a little bit more sleep, honestly. Okay, Frog, what do we have here? What is this mystery card? Well, of course I want to see something of balance, either maybe some Aquarius energy, right? Maybe the Star card, maybe something related to the Earth energy, because I feel like we're putting in a lot of effort into approaching the world in a very balanced way. I think we need a little bit more of the reciprocating energy, right? The balance from the universe coming back, that harmony, right? Not that we're doing this just to kind of get something out of it, but I feel like you're putting in all of this work in yourself, in your relationships, in your life, right? And I feel like that is going to lead you to these great successes, these great wins, right? I feel like this is the big win inside and out. I bet you this is going to be some really good Earth energy, maybe a 10 of Pentacles. Maybe an Ace of Pentacles. Maybe an Ace of Pentacles, because that is what the Princess is holding, right? The Ace. Let's see. Yes, bingo. The Ace of Pentacles. So this is the big win. This is a big reason to celebrate, a huge accomplishment. But it's interesting because this is now just the beginning, right? This is a big gift. You're getting the golden ticket, right? You're being handed the golden ticket. Now it's time to take the ride. So there's even more coming, right? This is real. This is nice. I like this. I'm very happy with this energy. Now we can do the extended. And if you would like to stick around for that, click on the link in the corner. If it's not there, there's a link down in the description box. Either way, I hope to see you there. New readings come out every day, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next reading. Hit the like button. Thank you for watching this reading all the way through until the end. It really helps keep the algorithm happy. I want to thank you for being here. And thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.